One cargo ship struck Namibia's skeleton coast in 1942. For weeks, rescuers fought sand, thirst, and near certain death just to save the crew. Bhutan forbids anyone from climbing its tallest mountain. Beneath Antarctic ice, researchers discovered bacteria that survived for thousands of years. Step wrong out there, rescue never comes. These are not ordinary destinations, they mark humanity's outer edge. Some locations swallow entire expeditions without leaving a trace. 9 more places wait still ahead, each hiding secrets no camera has fully captured. Where on earth are you watching right now? Type your city below, then hit subscribe before we start. The wreck near the skeleton coast was not rare, it was routine. Hundreds of ships met the same fate along that stretch of Namibian sand, swallowed by fog so thick that captains never saw land until their hull was already tearing open on it. Sailors who survived the crash faced something worse than the sea. They faced the desert. No water for 100 miles. No shelter. No way to call for help. Many made it to shore alive, only to die of thirst within sight of the waves that nearly killed them. Portuguese sailors gave this coast a name that still chills people today, the sands of hell. And once you understand why, it is hard to disagree. The Namib Desert behind that shoreline is over 55 million years old. Rain might not fall there for decades. Sand dunes rise like mountains, some glowing red from iron in the soil, shifting constantly under wind that never seems to stop. Somehow, life still clings on. Beetles tilt their bodies at dawn just to catch drops of fog on their backs. Getting there today still is not simple. Small planes and guided convoys remain the only real options, and even those require special permits. Most of the coastline has no roads, no towns, and no signal. Rangers patrol from above, because walking in on foot would be reckless. Here is the strange part. Though this brutal, deadly place is also breathtaking. At sunrise, when fog lifts off the dunes, sunlight hits the rusted shipwrecks and turns them gold. Death and beauty share the same sand. Far south of that coastline, past thousands of miles of open ocean, sits a place sailors once called the Desolation Islands. The Kerguelen archipelago barely appears on maps people actually use, mostly because almost nobody goes there. It sits over 2,000 miles from the nearest inhabited land. No airport exists. No regular ferry runs. The only way in is a 2-week boat ride from Reunion Island, through some of the roughest seas on the planet. Once you arrive, black volcanic cliffs and endless wind greet you. Temperatures barely climb above freezing, even during what counts as summer there. A small French research station houses a rotating group of scientists, and for most of the year, they are completely cut off from everyone else. Storms can knock out satellite contact for days straight. Supply ships arrive only a few times a year, miss one, and you wait months for the next. Strange as it sounds, life thrives here anyway. Elephant seals crowd the beaches by the thousands. Albatrosses nest on cliffs that drop straight into churning water. Reindeer, brought in decades ago by scientists, now roam wild across frozen tundra. Researchers call Kerguelen one of the best places on Earth to study true isolation, how ecosystems, weather, and even human minds behave when cut off from everything familiar. Now picture something even colder. At the very top of the world sits Alert, a Canadian outpost that is the northernmost place on Earth, where people actually live year-round. Moscow sits closer to Alert than Ottawa does. During winter, the sun disappears completely for months, leaving crews to work entirely through artificial light and strict daily routines. Built during the Cold War as a listening post, Alert still runs today with a small military crew monitoring weather and radio signals. Supplies depend entirely on military flights, and those only land when conditions allow, which is not often. The runway itself sits on permafrost that shifts constantly, needing repair just to remain usable. Step outside those buildings though, and cold hits like a solid wall, freezing exposed skin within seconds. Crews describe an isolation that goes beyond distance. No casual internet, no cell service, nothing but silence and landscape stretching endlessly in every direction. Yet many who've served there say something about that emptiness changes how they see everything else in life. From ice, we are about to move somewhere green deep into a jungle, where entire tribes have never once made contact with the outside world. From frozen coasts to forbidden peaks, this planet still guards secrets no map can capture. Some places may never welcome another visitor. That is what makes Earth endlessly worth exploring. If this journey pulled you in, hit subscribe and join us next time. One more question before you go: which place shocked you most?